lot easier than they went in the,
Right.
the first time we put the motor in last weekend. Alright, these ones are real tight.
Wanna let it down a little bit? Put some pressure off that.
Down?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Should we mark this channel real good before I pull this?
Do what?
Should we mark this channel real good before I pull this?
I already did.
We got, you know what, where's that thing? Is that a paint marker?
Yeah.
I wanna put a mark exactly where it was hitting, now that I can reach under there. Just a dot, you know? It's just above the mark.
Lost your drive shaft. That's what that noise was.
These are the tools that if you ever lost in anything, they would hurt you the most. Because these are the tools that took you 30 years plus to make, you know?
I've actually had that one about 30 years.
So whatever we do, we're just gonna hammer straight across.
What we'll do, I'll heat up a pie, we'll set that right there, and then I'll smack it, and then go to that side. I want to be able to wrinkle this in.
Okay.
Out here, we don't need so much, so it's got to go that way.
You're not afraid of going?
No. Let me get my gloves and my lighter. Yeah, I was thinking, need to,
Oh, you know what it is in there?
huh?
You know what's in there?
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good. Pull it out first?
Yeah.
Burning airline.
They got it.
Well, that sucks a donkey turd.
That means I gotta replace it. Oh, man, I'll have to cut that airline. We'll have to reroute it. But didn't think of that one, did we?
Where the heck you got that routed?
I got them tucked. Oops.
And that's the exact reason why the crew cab's getting metal lines.
I'll probably change them over at one point. But right now, it's good, you know?
places here. Ready?
Yep.
Let's see what it looks like. Need a heat right there. Well, it might bend. Moved it down a little bit, didn't it?
Yep.
Do you think it's enough?
I think we need to come up into here a little bit more.
All right.
Let me stand over here. Maybe bring it up into this.
Ready?
Yep.
Come out on the end real quick. Lay it flat. Now we got clearance.
Now we got clearance.
And it looks like it was made that way. All right.
You didn't wanna, just my thoughts. You didn't wanna bring it all the way to the edge?
No, because the front we had plenty of room.
Okay. You're right.
And
you're right.
ain't gonna change none of that. So mainly we had that.
So we're just trying to stay behind this platform.
Right.
Okay, not a problem.
Come around to the other side. Find my lighter again. Thing about running a torch, it gets warm quick.
I don't know why.
I have a feeling I'm about out of gas.
This side doesn't need it much.
I don't know what's going on with that torch. Whew, we burned something off in there.
Paint.
Come on now. This right here is the toughest part of it. Nothing like taking a torch to a car you just painted.
Yeah, I know. We gotta watch these things.
Do what?
Well, it's flaming on the inside. Whatever was in there that he didn't like, it burned it out.
How's that look? A little bit right there. Right there.
I think that's good.
And did you want to go forward any?
We can go forward a little bit, just give it a little extra.
Dang it.
Almost.
I didn't want that soot all over the car. Ready?
Yep.
Ow. That hurts.
I think we're good.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Let that cool down a little bit.
Why don't you put it right there? There's a lump going on. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to hit you.
Nope.
Hand. Right. There. That looks better. There was a lump right there.
Yeah, no, I seen that. All right, let that cool down. Got a wire brush for your welder?
Maybe. I do believe I'm gonna have to shed my long sleeve already. Somewhere over the rainbow. That stuff drives pretty quick. All right, Adam. There's something you're going to end up having to do, and it's going to take you a little bit of time.
What?
You're going to have to go through all your videos of every time that motor went in this car and put a compilation together.
I thought there was a limit on how much we could download of it. Give me the tape.
I think this is around 9 or 10.
It's a bunch. Can I have the tape? It's a bunch. It's been in a time or two.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. This one kind of had like, I guess I probably should have put that one on first, huh? Yeah, I didn't need to go that high up. Right about there. You know how many times I've almost thrown these little things up? But they're nice for when you're working on a car. You gotta get on your knees and...
I've got knee pads somewhere, but I can't use them. They still mess with my knees. Plus, I'm always moving around so much.
Yeah, no, these were... I mean, even if you got like, if it's cold outside and you're out in the winter or the rain, you're great.
It's just your morning exercise. Your right arm needs more workout than your left.
Don't pull yet. Let it.
Okay.
In?
Yeah.
Down a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Not much, but. All right.
Ready?
Yep. You got nothing to hold on to here.
Ready?
Yeah, you should get down a little bit now. There you go.
Ready?
Yeah. All right, down. Trying to keep that tunnel off of you.
Alright, remember, those slide around a little bit. I'm gonna come down a little, okay?
Yeah.
watch rocket back here. Hold on, you got it. Okay, there we go.
There it went.
You're stuck on that. I have to slide it back a little bit.
Might be able to get that one in, right?
Alright. 1 second.
Something moved.
Alright, hold on, this one's lined up. Let me get this lined up quick.
This one's pretty close.
Yeah, let me get this one in right now.
Alright. That was in.
That one's in.
Can't really tell if that's down far enough.
Alright, jack the transmission up. Keep going. Right there.
You know what? That pulley is right where it needs to be now.
What do we got on the back of the head?
2 inches.
We can come way forward.
Yeah, you got that much room back there now.
How much do we got on the mount? We can come all the way forward if you want.
That's a pan rub.
Clear.
Well, there's 2 things. It's good to have the motor forward for clearance issues, but you also got to take into consideration the more you move that forward, it changes your weight distribution. I mean, right now, with 2 thickness of pads, I can stick my hand behind the motor. The front edge of that pulley is even with the back of the sway bar.
So what's the dipstick look like back there? We can pull that pad out now. Alright, how about this? Let's jack the transmission up. Put,
Right there, you're touching the car.
alright, I want to come forward a little bit.
Okay. Now you're at the center of the...
These blocked out. Next one. I think that's where it's going to sit. Blocked out.
The front plug is even with the center of the wheel now too. Then you got room for all kinds of activities behind the motor now.
Something tells me that's where I need to put it. Because we got to remember, with the intake going on, there is going to be some wiring. I do have to get in the back. And I'm going to leave the transmission mounts here. When you make this, if you take the transmission mount
So what you're saying is take 439, the motor's in.
you forgot the 100 before that. You lost a day somewhere. I don't know if it's because you were playing excavator boy or what? Well, you lost today somewhere. Keep watching that buddy of yours, Let's Dig. And you think, okay, I can go dig.
I just seen something that might be an issue.
What?
Your inner fender.
This whole cap.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's just a cap.
All right. See, I gotta get the inner fenders bolted to the fenders before it can go on the car.
Yeah.
Because you won't get it in there with the fenders on.
I can take that cap off. I got another cap at the house. So we can leave that off. Put that back on. I got another cap somewhere. So that's not that big of an ordeal. I could probably even reclock too if I needed to. You know? I mean, it's just a air vent. That's all it is.
So how much are you gonna put on this motor?
I'm gonna put the headers on. The intake's not going on. I got stuff to do to it. But I'm gonna get everything. I'm gonna get the valley plate on. I'm gonna get the steam lines rubbed. All that stuff. But I gotta drill the back of the intake. I gotta drill each port for vacuum port for the operating system.
So all 8 ports?
All 8 ports. I've been highly advised to. They said you can drill one and probably get your signal. They said you'll get the best signals if you drill all of them, tap them, put it back in for you.
Yeah.
Below the throttle body.
So that's gonna take you some time.
That's gonna take me about a day to do that.
So you taking that back?
I was just gonna take it home and do it. When I come out next weekend, I can probably slap it on. I gotta take this whole bracket system off over here. I gotta put that bracket system on. I'm gonna mount the power steering pump. All that stuff's gonna be mounted. Not gonna change the steering box just because it's easier to move with what's on it.
Right.
And
I'm not worried about steering it right now.
right.
I mean, this is gonna be coming off the dollies.
I worry about you trying to steer it with the fenders on and everything else. It's a little harder to get to the wheel.
That won't be that big a deal because I got the forklift and I got this lawnmower.
Okay.
With it on them dollies, I can move it anywhere.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I stole your dollies.
Yeah. That's good. Piece of tape?
Yeah,
VIN number?
yeah.
Alright.
Sitting here drinking my coffee this morning, and I forgot all about Don wanting me to come over and look at that dart. There you go. Having fun yet?
I'm gonna throw a strap on that. Maybe throw the shaft in real quick.
Where's the shaft?
Yeah, that would seem better to go.
Like that. I gotta find that PB. This is ridiculous. Alright, let me grab a board. We'll just fix this situation right now. Okay, now put that back up in there. I won't be able to get that. That'll work.
Yeah, no, that'll be fine.
Yeah, now it's got pressure against it instead of pulling it.
Right.
All right. That needs to be back here.
I think if you just bend it in, it'll be fine. Do you want me to find that transmission bolt to that? See what kind of movement we got?
Do what?
When we get that transmission mount so we can bolt it to it and see what kind of movement we have?
You said you've got 2 inches, right?
Right.
You know what I'm thinking? Take that
Look
tab off there and put it on this side.
I was thinking that too.
Because that's going to move it out right there. Just take this tab, put it on this side, put your mount.
Right. And with that adjustable mount.
Yeah. Piece of cake. I like chocolate cake. And cookies. But chocolate cake mainly. Honestly, I think that's the ticket.
I think so too.
Even if I make a new one of these that's maybe inch and a half longer, just to make sure you got enough clearance, because there ain't nothing here to hit.
Right.
I think it'd be fine. I was honestly expecting it to be a Pandora type thing. See that? It ain't gonna take much to knock it off there. They missed the weld.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, see, that's a dual tab, so this ain't gonna work anyways. Just make a new one that wide. Come out over with the 2 holes. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, now what do I do with my, right there. I'm gonna bolt this to the transmission.
Yeah, put a dual hole mount on the end of that brace with as much movement as that has. Yeah, put that on the other side and slide that back. It'll be about right there underneath of the mount.
Right.
It just barely clears the pan. You could still drop the pan if you needed to
Right.
with this on the back side.
So make a dual hole or a dual slotted mount.
Well, you've already got 3 inches of movement there.
It's supposed to be 2 inches of movement.
2 inches. I'm thinking just 2 holes. About right there. About an inch away from the pipe.
Yeah.
So I'll make a new piece, say 2.5 inches, put 2 holes right in the center.
Yep.
That'll work. When I weld it, it'll get welded too. Both sides. You got it?
Yeah. Got a lot more clearance on that oil pan too. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
We
Half
have
inch all the way around.
No, I'm talking about the depth.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is still up above. Because down here we had a 1/4 inch of clearance.
Right. No, so I said we.
Yeah. This pan, not so much.
That training pan should be fine.
Didn't have enough out. I wasn't gonna sit there more. Yeah. I hate these lifts. They were good back in the day for what they were. It would be nice to get a sponsor with one of them lift companies. You know?
Yeah.
Even if I had to come up with some of the money, give me a break.
Having a discount would be great. Header's actually pretty nice.
A lot more clearance than the other ones had.
Right, and with these being band clamp style,
Oh yeah.
I got even more room.
Yeah, because that's smaller.
Right. What did we try? 4 different sets of headers?
I think so. 3 or 4. Oh, that was Tanya's burrito.
And only one of them was past the return date. That's the set I am going to sell. But those sold real quick.
Yeah.
I just sold it for what I had in them.
I still ain't heard anything back from that guy.
Okay.
That one on that El Camino.
I sent him a couple of leads on some ones that were up around us. They were $2,000–3,000. And I told him, I said, these cars are a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
I said, you spend $3,000 now, and you'll probably save yourself $10,000
Yeah.
in the future. Because these things they seem like solid quarter panels. And you're not looking through them and up into the inner structure.
Right. Looking through them and the inner bed.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, your car went wrong.
I told him, I said, that one's going to be a fun one. Because everything needs replaced.
Right. So, I don't know if he's holding off and trying to find something different. Now, I do got to get together with him because he's buying a set of heads off of me.
Honestly, right now I'm booked on the restoration side.
Right.
I gotta go look at 2 more. I got a 66 Mustang to look at. He wants it done within a year when he retires. And then Don, the guy with the Nomad, he wants me to look at doing his
The dark.
Dart. Yep. You've already got Wednesday's video for me. And this is Thursday. Hey, talk about building anxiety, because they was expecting this to be bolted together on Monday.
Right.
I mean, it'll be Tuesday that it starts getting bolted together, but they won't see it till Friday.
But at least now we're back on schedule.
Yeah, now the motor's in there. I still got to put welds on the motor mounts so you can't pull it back out again.
Well, the motor mounts. You gotta bolt the bolts shut on it. I do need to put a bolt in there. See, this is why I brought a box of bolts down. Talk about leftover parts.
Right? All right, guys, I'm going to close this video out. Tomorrow, I'm going to start bolting this thing all together. Get the gas door on, the deck lid, both doors, and start assembly of the front clip. That assembly is going to be a little time consuming. But as soon as it's all together, I start wet sanding. Till the next one, have a blessed evening.